Um, Hello everyone. It is your boy Hunter the Sith, and welcome. Um, there's no further thing to talk about. You might be asking and like thinking, "Huh, where's the music? Music you always put in the background." Um, this time there's not going to be any music. Uh, it's because as you can see. Matpat can't release this now, I will say that. I'm a little bit late, half not late on the information because I'll show image, but I posted about this on the day he is retiring. Um, I posted an image about it uh, in a video on my Instagram and also on um, you know Twitter. Make sure to go follow me. And all I gotta say was it was not. It still makes me feel sad, but it was not a great time or year. Well, year 2024. I thought was gonna be a great time. Let me say, but um, I think on January 9th, yeah, 'cause this is when this video came out, January 9th, and him announcing his retirement just made 2024 for me and probably everyone else depressed. And we're gonna be more depressed because I think he said in his uh, I don't know if he said in a post or something, but he said about his retirement's gonna be on March 9th. So yeah, I'd like to say before I start the video, Matt Pat has been my favorite. Oh God, I'm already watering. Um, Matt Pat has been my favorite YouTuber since 2014. I first discovered Matt Pat's channel in 2014 when fnaf was kicking off in 2015, and I was starting to become a fnaf fan. And I discovered his channel where he talked about theories, and you know, I enjoyed his channel so much. I watched other stuff. I don't remember the title. I remember the title was Freddy, but I don't remember what the title was about. The name of it, but I'll show an image. Then after that, I watched Bendy and the Ink Machine videos, and then I'm sorry, I'm just trying not to tear up, please. And then Duck Season videos. Uh, I also remember you know the the Psychic Fredbear intro.
He's here,
He's
he's there,
there,
he's
he's
everywhere.
everywhere.
Who you gonna
Who
call?
you
Psychic
gonna
friend
call?
Fredbear.
Psychic Fredbear. Um, I had to do it. I remember that. Just everything from that channel. You know, when he got a cameo in the spoilers if you haven't seen the FNAF movie yet, even though it's been out since last year. Um, and when he got a cameo in the FNAF movie, it was just really memorable. So when he made this video on January 9th, as you can tell from my voice now, I was crying. I'll probably show a clip after the end of this video. Um, this is why I try to avoid this, because I feel like I might cry again. It worries me because he said March 9th he's retiring, and we're on February, so March is almost here. Before I before I start the video, I'll say one more thing to keep it positive and not depressing, but uh, two things. One of them is I have other videos on my draft, so when this one gets uploaded, I'll upload some more that are more happier and light if you want to go check those out. I'm sorry if I'm looking down during the whole video. Um, Another thing is thank you, Matt. Thank you for bringing the enjoyment we have and everything. Thank you for discover film theory, food theory, game theory, every other. Thank you, Matt. Enough talking. I hope I don't cry during this, but enough talking. Let's get right into the video. Three, two, three, two, one.
It's not clickbait. On March 9th, I will be hosting my last theory episode, at which point I will be handing off the channels to someone else. There it is. That's it. Send tweet. We're all done here. That's all you need to know, right? Oh, wow. Forgive me, by the way, if I'm a little bit more disorganized than usual. Normally, I would want to script out something like this pretty precisely. But with an announcement like this, I wanted to bring it back to just us. There's no one else in the room. There's no teleprompters. There's no nothing. It's just the way that this whole thing started. It's a conversation between us. And sorry that I keep getting emotional about this. I'll try not to, but it's a big deal. You know, like, if you think about it, this channel is Steph and my first child, really. Before we had Ollie, before we had Skip, Catbat, like, it was this. This was our baby. This channel has been going for 13 years. I think in total it's somewhere around like 1,200 theories. And only half of those are FNAF. Shocking. I know, we actually did stuff that wasn't FNAF related.
Yeah.
But this has been a literal third of my life. And I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss this. I value what we have here. I value this conversation, this openness, this relationship that we share. And I'm sad that I won't be able to see you every week. Which then I guess prompts the question of like, why? Why am I doing this now? Why am I making this announcement today? Why am I walking away from the channels? Well, to be honest, it was Tom Scott. You can blame Tom Scott. Tom just did his farewell video and I'm like, well, he was able to do it. I want to be able to fly away in a helicopter. Obviously, that's not it. But really, my reasons for making this announcement today is probably largely the same as Tom's reasons, or Seth Everman's, or Captain Sparkles, or Papa Meats, or Stampy Longheads. Like, there's a lot of these videos that are coming out these days, and there's going to be a lot more happening throughout this year. Steph and I have known this video would be coming for the last 3 years. We weren't sure it was necessarily going to be today. We didn't know exactly when it would fall, but we knew it was going to happen eventually. That's why over the last couple years we've been staffing up so much. That's why we partnered with a larger company to help run the channels. That's why we've been spending so much time outside of this box training up the team to make the best videos that they can. Because we knew that we couldn't do this forever. We knew that, honestly, we didn't want to do this forever. For as much as I love you, and I love overthinking things, and I love theorizing, I don't love late nights. I don't love the fact that Steph and I have been work first for over a decade, where I'm sitting down at dinner with my best friend, and we're talking about business logistics. Or we're talking about animatronic toes. I miss the days where I could just sit down on the couch with her and play video games, and it's not for content. Or I'm playing a game and I'm not thinking about what theories are going to come out of that. I miss it. So that's a big reason. That was a big one right there. But also just the internet's changing. My life has changed in the last 13 years. I mentioned Dolly before. He's the coolest little dude, and he's getting older by the minute. And I watch him, and he is so much fun, and he is so much smarter than I was when I was his age. He also probably knows the FNAF lore better than I do, which is a problem that I should probably address at some point. But honestly, I want to be able to spend more time with him. Another sad fact of the matter is I'm getting older. I'm 37 now. The other day, I actually had to Google my own age. And you know that when you have to start like doing math in your head to calculate how old you are over the hill, my friends. Though to be fair, to my credit, I think I'm like the only 37-year-old out there who has an unironic appreciation of Skibidi Toilet. Then again, maybe that's the problem, right? Like, maybe that's not a good thing. And honestly, because this is all about us being honest, there is a bit of a selfish side to this. When you think about it, there's only really two ways to step away from a YouTube channel. You either just decide the day that you stop uploading and you're like, I'm done, or you just keep uploading videos from now until the heat death of the universe, and you watch as your relevance slowly dies or your passion slowly dies. And for me and my journey in this place, I always wanted to go out on a high note. And when you stop and look at the last year, this has been the best year in the theorist lifespan ever. Like, no joke. It is our highest view year. It is the year where we launched style theory and immediately put our foothold in a brand new space, and that took off, and now we're one of the top style and fashion channels on YouTube. And that kind of completes the trifecta of, hey, we now have a top channel in 4 different and that kind of completes the trifecta of, hey, we now have a top channel in 4 different verticals that are completely different, and no other YouTuber really has ever been able to do it to that scale. That's amazing. This is also the year where I was able to meet you guys at our Broadway show. I was able to play at the PGA and show that, hey, YouTubers aren't particularly good at golf, but they can make your event relevant for like a couple of minutes. It was also the year that I got to host the Streamy Awards, and it wasn't cringe. I mean, to be fair, the Streamy Awards are always a little bit cringe, but it was the right amount of cringe. When I pull up videos of all my favorite creators, and I watch them, and all of a sudden I start hearing people just casually dropping, that's just a theory.
It's just a theory, a game theory.
Now, this is just a theory, people.
At the end of the day, it's just a game theory.
That's just a theory. A Freebirds theory.
Also, a lot of lore, so if you're a big theory head, proceed at your own risk.
I did not know about this theory.
That's a theory.
That right there, that is incredible. And that's the note that I want to leave on. And that's how you just know it's the right time. All of those reasons coming together, saying, hey, this is the moment. And that's hard to say, because change is scary. Change is hard. But sometimes the right decision isn't the easy decision. The easy decision would just be to carry on doing this and do FNAF part 332.
That's the first thing.
That wouldn't be the right decision. I think the best way to explain it is with a video game analogy. Feels appropriate, right? Whoa, it's game theory, ha! Did it. Check the game part of it off. But the way I like to think about it is Earthbound. I think I've made it pretty clear over the years that that is, without question, my favorite game of all time. Sans' Ness, all that, you're all familiar with that. But what you might not be familiar with at this point is how the game ends. At the end of Earthbound, after you save the world, everything opens up to you. You can revisit every single location that you've been to. You can talk to every NPC that you met on your journey. And it's this incredible moment as a gamer. You see just how many lives have been impacted thanks to your journey. And then after spending as much time as you want talking to all those people, you end up back home. You go back to where it all began, where you were just a kid waking up in bed and starting your adventure. And even though your mom's there and your dog's there and your weird telephone dad's there, it feels different somehow. Like, sure, this is still a place of love and acceptance and comfort and security, but you just don't quite fit anymore. Because you just traveled the world. You made all these new friends. You are different. You grew up. And your relationship to this place grows up. It evolves. In case you couldn't tell, I'm Ness, which I guess would also mean that I'm also Sans. But I was also Ness in the FNAF movie, which just opens up all sorts of weird canon. Slap a thumbnail on that one. So anyway, there you have it. That is why I'm leaving. I hope you can understand. But that obviously begs the question of, like, what happens to the channels? Well, for the next 10 weeks, we're going to have ourselves a big old going away party. If Unis Anus taught us anything, it taught us that you probably shouldn't use urine for a personal sauna. But if Unis Anus taught us 2 things, one was to not soak in your own urine, but 2 was to appreciate the time that you have left. So that's why over the next 10 weeks, we're going to have a bunch of theories that are going to be a lot of fun, revisiting old favorites, getting some closure on things. We're going to see some familiar faces, a lot of awesome stuff. Although to be fair, I think it's 9 weeks, and I think we counted this one as week 1. That was stupid of us. That, my friends, is how you wind up getting Wario being 10 feet tall. Mathematical rigor. Should have double checked the numbers.
Out of
So I have
nowhere.
9 theories left on each of the channels, but we're going to call them MatPat's Final 10 because that just sounds better. At which point then on March 9th, we're going to have that big going away celebration, MatPat's Final Theory, and I just dust away. I stand astride my Music Man and I just whip a nay-nay off into the distance. But then something special happens. Do the channels go away with me? No, actually. I've always thought that anyone can be a theorist, right? If you are passionate about a topic and you love to overthink it and over-research it, then congratulations, you're a theorist. And that could range from, hey, I have family recipes that I'm constantly looking to refine, to, hey, I want to create the perfect fantasy sports team. Because here's the thing, sports pros, at the end of the day, if you are in the statistics and numbers and doing calculations to see if your team won or lost, you're just playing a glorified Dungeons and Dragons game. I hate to break it to you, you're one of us, my friends. And sure, game theory is a format that I created. It's a show with this very excitable host who makes a lot of cringy dad jokes and says the word lore a lot. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's more than just the host. It is a show. It is a format. And in a broader sense, it is a state of mind. It's a way of thinking and approaching the world around you. It's more than just the host. And when you think about it, not a lot of YouTube channels function that way. We're special in that regard. Like, you're not going to be able to get another Markiplier stepping into the Markiplier channel. And you're never going to be able to recreate Jenna Marbles. And to be honest, you're never going to get another MatPat either. But you can have another game theorist. You can have another film theorist or food theorist or style theorist. I think in a lot of ways, we almost function kind of like the Doctor Who of YouTube, where as one host fades away, a new one kind of respawns in their place. And they're able to put their own unique spin and flavor on the format and make it their unique thing. You have eras of the different theorist channels. And so, you know, my era is fading away and someone new is coming in. Maybe this is the David Tennant to Matt Smith transition, right? That was good, solid series of episodes right there. So who then is going to be taking over the channels? Well, I don't know if you've noticed this, but fewer and fewer of the words that I'm saying in any given episode are actually mine. If you go down to the credits, you can actually see in the description that there are certain names that have been appearing more and more frequently. Like, yeah, I'm listed on every single one as the writer because I touch every single script, I polish it into my voice, but in all honesty, the bulk of what I'm saying is coming from someone else. It's their research, it's their work. Why should they have to filter their creativity through my voice? I've always envisioned these channels as a place where we could spotlight all sorts of creators. I mean, it even goes back to the original URL of this channel, right? It isn't game theory, it was always the game theorists, because this was a place where you could find a lot of like-minded creators, all with a passion for gaming and education. That's why we had the partner shows like Gaijin Goomba with Culture Shock, or Drake with Smash History, or Ryder with A Brief History, or Austin with The Science, and Lee with Breakdown. They were all here because we all had a similar goal: to educate people through the lens of gaming. And then YouTube pivoted and then made it so that way doing a channel in that style doesn't really work anymore. But we still try to keep that ethos alive by making sure that we're regularly covering small indie projects. Stuff like OnlyCans, like Mandela Catalog, like OWO. OWO? See? I learned. But if we're doing that for all these other creators, why aren't we doing it for the creators on our own staff who have been in the trenches doing the research, writing these words to deliver to you over the last couple years? I have been fortunate. I have been so blessed to have this platform available to me that you've given me over the last 13 years. But I think now it's time to pass it on to the next generation. It's time to give someone else a shot. But I realize that I'm getting off track here. So back to the question, who's taken over? First off, it's not going to one person, but rather 4. I would not wish my schedule on anyone. Like, sure, I'm willing to not sleep for the last 13 years of my life, but I feel like as old man YouTube passing this along to the next generation, I should probably do my best to try and make it more sustainable for them. It's also going to people that you're already familiar with. You've seen them showing up in shorts. You've seen them here on the couch with me for GT Live. You've sometimes seen them washing their hair with me in my own shower. Don't read too much into that, but it is accurate. Most importantly, though, they're each an expert in their own individual subject matter, and they've been spearheading the creative of the channels for the better part of the last year. And I think what's maybe the most fascinating about all of this is that each of the 4 of them come to us from a completely different angle. You know, so for instance, you have Lee, right? Lee's gonna be taking over film theory, and Lee has been with us for 10 years. 10 years, it's crazy. I believe he was actually editor number 3 for the channels. We had Ronnie, and then we had Ryder, Foot of a Ferret, and then we had Lee. I think his first theory that he ever worked on was Rosalina's Peach's daughter, Peach is Dead, one of my all-time favorite episodes that we've ever done on the channel. And over time, he rose up. He had his own show on the channel here. He had Breakdown, which were these just beautiful documentaries that were edited in such an incredible way. And since then, he's been spearheading a lot of the creative on both the writing and the visual side. And then, of course, you have Amy over on Style Theory. And Amy is actually a very different case here. When she first approached us, I think it was 6 years ago, she didn't know about the channels. All she knew was that she wanted to learn everything that she could about digital video, and that Theorist was kind of the place that you went to learn that stuff. Like, we were the best when it comes to analytics and optimization and programming and things like that. She got in and she just devoured everything that we threw at her. So much so that she eventually got to the point where she was so good that she was consulting the largest mobile game company in the world based off of the stuff that we were working on here in studio. Incredible. And all of that while being responsible for packaging somewhere around like 500 episodes across all the channels. And then she helped me and Steph brainstorm Style Theory for 2 years before the channel eventually launched, hoping that maybe one day she would be able to rise into the hosting role for it. And now here it is. And then, of course, you have Santi and Tom. Santi over on Food Theory and Tom over here on Game Theory. And interestingly enough, they both grew up watching Game Theory. We were their childhood show, which, to be fair, just shows how old we are. Santi would eventually go work at Mythical with Rhett and Link before coming here, where he is bravely spearheading Food Theory and letting me mercilessly make fun of all of his recipes. He's much better than I give him credit for. I just like giving him a hard time. And then Tom, he worked at Disney and Fox, but he knew all along that he wanted to be here, right? Like, this was his aspirational goal. He wanted to write here. He emailed us a cold email outreach. We just miraculously saw it, decided to audition him, and he crushed it. His first episode that he worked on was actually watching every single installment of the Pokemon anime to calculate Pikachu's level. And to be fair, that was his pitch. Like, I have asked people to do some crazy things in the past, but not even I'm that brutal. Like, you can only watch Team Rocket blast off so many times, but he's like, this is an episode I'm passionate about. I think I'm gonna knock it out of the ballpark, and I'm gonna show you how committed I am. And he has been so committed ever since. So committed, in fact, that I told him, hey, if you're joining the channels, you do realize that you're gonna have to read every single FNAF book. And he's like, boom, he did it. And we're up here going crazy in the FNAF attic. But not only did he read every FNAF novel, he also read every single Hello Neighbor book.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he went that far. Currently, he's working his way through Bendy because the new movie's coming up. If nothing else, I think that really proves his level of commitment and also his appropriate level of insanity. He's a bit off the cuff at times. Like, I don't know if you saw on a recent GT Live, but Tom was here on the couch with me, and he actually denied that the moon existed, which was a choice.
Main character from the chat says, that sounds like somebody who doesn't have a flag on the moon.
I mean, that's if you believe it's even there.
The moon?
I don't think he actually believes that, but if he does, we're going to get some weird Majora's Mask theories, let me tell you. When I go out at this point, I am recognized at least 5 times. It's crazy. It's a really high number at this point. And it's a fascinating split because 50% of the time it's like, oh my gosh, you're matpat. You were my childhood. I loved watching your FNAF theories. And I'm always like, well, you know, FNAF's still going. And they're like, what? No way. And we talk about the new game and it's always really fun. But the other half is, oh my gosh, you're matpat. You are my childhood. I'm watching you right now. I loved your most recent theory. That's awesome. That's such an honor. Yeah. I've been so honored to be a part of all of your lives. But I think it's time for someone else to have that honor. I think it's time for someone else to get to ruin some childhoods. And that just kind of leaves us with one final question, right? Which is, what about me? You know, where do I go? Do I just retire to a beach somewhere? Do I whip a nene off into the distance? No, I'll still be here. Obviously, first off, we've got our final 10 episodes, like I said, so that's, well, it wasn't 10 episodes. However many episodes are left between now and March 9th, we got those. I'm going to be on GT Live from now until the foreseeable future, probably until the end of the summer. That feels about right. And then we have the big going away video on March 9th. After that, I, stand aside as Santi, Lee, Amy, and Tom step up and take over the hosting role. But I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be alongside the creative directors talking about programming, brainstorming ideas for upcoming episodes. That's awesome. I love that. I don't want to give that up. But the other cool thing about this is that it opens up the door for me to turn the script for the last.
Sorry guys, I'm back.
Obviously, first off, we've got our final 10 episodes, like I said, so that's, well, it wasn't 10 episodes. However many episodes are left between now and March 9th, we got those. I'm going to be on GT Live from now until the foreseeable future, probably until the end of the summer. That feels about right. And then we have the big going away video on March 9th. After that, I, stand aside as Santi, Lee, Amy, and Tom step up and take over the hosting role. But I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be alongside the creative directors talking about programming, brainstorming ideas for upcoming episodes. That's awesome. I love that. I don't want to give that up. But the other cool thing about this is that it opens up the door for me to turn the script. For the last 13 years, I've been commenting on other people's IP, but now that I'm stepping out of those roles, I get to create the IP. Still as a part of Theorist, but I get to create things that are going to challenge those new hosts of the channel. Things that I've had in the back of my mind from years of studying media that I can now make a reality, and the channels can comment on them. Things like, for instance, I have a lo-fi mystery series that I think you're really gonna dig. It's basically like if you took a lo-fi channel and applied an ARG narrative to it, it becomes lore-fi. I am so stoked about this. The music is sounding really good. The animations are coming together really well. That's going to be launching in a couple weeks. We'll see if Lee over on Film Theory is going to be able to solve it. In April, I'm actually going to be coming back onto Style Theory to host a giant fashion show that we're doing there. We all collectively had this thought of like, hey, online brands, online influencers are coming up with their own apparel lines. Why is there no place to showcase that sort of stuff? And then it hit us like, hey, we have a style and fashion channel. Why aren't we doing it ourselves? Creators in Fashion by Style Theory, that is coming to you in April, hosted by me. Some of the time that I'm not hosting the channels, I'm going to be practicing my runway walk. Because let me tell you, if I'm sashaying down the runway, if I'm stomping the runway, it's not going to be pretty right now. So I need to practice that a little bit. There's also this animation show that we did a pilot for in like the middle of last year. It's basically like if you took Gravity Falls but aged it up and made it about adulting. It's really, really solid. And also there's this video game idea that I want to do for like so long that I've never had the opportunity to really like dive into and make reality. But now it's my chance to step into the role of Scott Cawthon and challenge the new game theorist. There's always been the memes about, are Scott Cawthon and I the same person? Not yet, but who knows? Maybe starting later this year. And those are just the immediate things that I have on my to-do list because I want to make fun, cool things for you. And even if it's not a weekly episode, I still want to give those things to you because I think you'll like them. You matter to me. You are so important to me. Every single one of those people who stop me on the street, it's an honor, right? It's interesting. Because of this whole transition, I've been thinking a lot about my time on these channels and the evolution that we've gone to together. In the beginning, right, I was kind of like the edgy older brother where I would talk about like, oh, did you know that Link is dead? And let's make some boob jokes. And then at a certain point, I evolved into Dad Pat, right? I became a little bit more mature. I had the team around me. I had to be more careful about who I was saying was dead on a regular basis. Instead of talking about boobs, I ended up talking about Luigi's bulge. That felt like the right decision. At this point, I think I'm kind of evolving into a Grandpa Pat, for lack of a better term. And just like your grandparents, hopefully cool grandparents, but just like a grandparent, you don't get to see me all the time. And I don't get to see you all the time. And maybe we call and talk to each other every once in a while. But at the end of the day, that grandpa loves getting to see you. Maybe he shows up at a special event. Maybe he shows up at a holiday. Maybe he shows up at the Theory Wear fashion show. Who knows? But he so looks forward to seeing you. And the love that he has for you, it doesn't go away. That grandpa is so proud of you. And he cherishes the relationship that you've had so much. And he is so honored to be a part of your life, to have been a part of helping you grow and helping you experience the world. And he looks forward to seeing you at the next event. And if you see him on the street, we'll hang out. And hopefully he brings you cool, fun gifts. I know this is going to sound cheesy. And I know the internet will probably rake me over the coals for crying for one, but I love you guys. I do. You're not just numbers. You're not just ad impressions. You're not just merch sales. what you have done for me, and from everyone I talk to, what I've done for you is special. It's special. When I was in middle school, I had this goal of making the world a better place because I had been a part of it.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be big. It didn't have to be curing cancer. But I wanted there to have been a ripple impact. Just because I was there. Butterfly effect and all that. We've done it. I think we've been able to achieve something great here. You have taken me on the wildest, craziest 13-year ride of my life. And I'm so grateful. So, Grandpa Pat is going to sign out now, and I'll be around for a couple more weeks. I'll be living around the house for a while. We'll have a big family reunion celebration. Then I'll go off to my little shack in the woods, my retirement home down in Florida, and I'll pop in every once in a while. Anyway, at this point in my notes, I had it written that we're going to start a countdown clock of that final 10 episodes, final 9 episodes, so start that. I don't know what it's going to look like yet. Hopefully the editors don't rip off Unas Anas too much. If they do, I hope they change it. And with that, I'm going to say, for one of the final times, not the final time, but one of the final times, as always, my friends, remember, it's just a theory. A game theory. Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Yo, I can't, dude. I'm sorry I haven't been talking. I can't. This is why I didn't watch the video. Because I felt like I was being emotionally. This is why I didn't watch it. Because I thought, if this would happen, and then tears would happen. Retirement. February's retirement's almost here on March 9th. Think about that. March 9th is almost here. To his retirement. Here. Sorry, sorry. Yeah, I want to continue my outro, but okay. This was the reaction of matpat's retirement. As you can tell, I'm not feeling alright about this. I never was alright about it when I first heard the announcement, and I'm still not. But yeah, I'm happy I finally reacted to it. Again, I've been leaving this off. I've been putting it off because this is what I felt like. This is how I felt like when I was and it happened. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Make sure to go leave this a like. Go subscribe to matpat, Game Theory, whatever. Before I end it off, I just want to say again, just like what I said in the beginning of the video, Game Theory has been a big part of my life. It's been a big part of me. I used to watch Game Theory when I was a kid. I said this in the intro when first I discovered him because of FNAF. But for real, this that is the reason I discovered his channel. And I was a kid back then. I had an iPad, or not an iPad. I had a tablet, and I would just watch Game Theory videos. Because he would release a FNAF video, or Duck Season, or Bendy Machine. I remember just either coming home from school, or staying at home and I just watch, Game Theory uploaded. I sit there, watch Game. I sit there and I watch Game Theory. I watch every bit of his FNAF theory. And I watch everything else. I watch every bit of Ed's other theories. And it's hard for me. This is like the Scott Cawthon retirement. Because it was hard for me when Scott Cawthon made his retirement announcement. And I couldn't stop crying. This is why these people I grew up with, Scott, matpat. This is why these people that I grew up with, it's sad for me to see them leave. But I understand. They have that thing I understand with this. They have a better life, and things are going around, off behind the scenes, and that's the thing Scott said, and now matpat is saying is, they're behind the scenes, helping other people, and I think that's the thing we need to learn about is, no matter if matpat's gone, he's still gonna be with us, and he's still there with us, but he's just gonna be behind the scenes. But that's all I gotta say. Another thing is, just thank you, matpat. Thank you for everything. Thank you for making our childhoods amazing. Thank you for making everything really cool and just important. Thank you for making me and other content creators who we want to be. Because if it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for Five Nights at Freddy's, if it wasn't for anything else, I wouldn't be here making videos. I wouldn't be making my channel, doing other stuff. So thank you. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be it for today's video. And remember, all, it's just theory, a game theory. So a clap and a half to this, and again, like what I said in the beginning of the video, I have a draft of other videos that are not depressing as this one. Are really happy, but I'll be able to upload those ones. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, give me notifications, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Guys, so as of right now, I'm not okay. I haven't even watched the video yet. I'm not. Probably when I watch the video, I'm probably gonna cry more, but just thinking about it, believe me. I think I'm out of retiring. matpat used to be my most childhood YouTuber. I first discovered his channel was in 2014 when FNAF was gaining popularity. I used to watch all his theory videos, all of the different games FNAF. He used to be my childhood. Now, his retirement video came out. I didn't even watch it, but there was people upset or sad about it, and I almost I saw the video when I was at school, and I almost started crying. I don't know, but I just want to say thank you, matpat. Thank you so much for the game theory videos. You're the best, man. Thank you for the FNAF cameo and the FNAF movie. You're amazing. I hope you have a good life. you, dude. We're gonna miss all your FNAF theories. We're gonna keep game theory, the legacy strong. Again, you were my childhood. I'm gonna miss you, but I hope you have a beautiful life. I'm sorry, guys, we're feeling so emotional. I don't know if you can see, but I'm legit tearing up. Like, I don't know if you can see that my eyes are legit, like, they're... I hope you have a good life, though, matpat. See you later.
Well, actually, no, Mark. That was not the bite of 87. If you can see here, this is taking place in 1983, because this is Fredbear's Family Diner, and this is taking place in a different time. This is not the bite of 87. The bite of 87 was really from...